anyone here? My aunt will be down presently, Mr. Nuddle. But in the meantime, you must try to put up with me. Okay. I know how to be. You'll bury yourself down there and not speak to a single soul. Then your nerves will be worse than ever from moping. Do you know many of the people around here?
Hardly a soul. My sister was staying here at the rectory, some 4 years ago, and she gave me letters of introduction to some people here.
Then you know practically nothing about my aunt.
Only her name and address.
Her great tragedy just happened 3 years ago. That's since your sister's time.
Tragedy?
You may wonder why we keep that window open on October afternoon.
It is quite warm for the time of the year. But has that window got anything to do with her tragedy?
Out through that window, 3 years ago today, her husband and her young brother went off for their day shooting. They never came back. In crossing the moor to their favorite snipe shooting ground, they were all engulfed in a treacherous piece of bog. It had been that dreadful wet summer, and places that were safe in other years gave way suddenly without warning. Their bodies were never recovered. That was the dreadful part of it. Poor Anne always thinks that they will come back someday. They and their little brown spaniel that was lost with them, and walk in that window just as they used to. That's why they keep the window open until it's quite dusk. Poor dear Anne. She has often told me how they went out, her husband with his white waterproof coat over his arm, and Ronnie, her youngest brother, singing "Birdie, why do you bound?" as he always did to tease her, because she said it got a creepy feeling that they will walk in through that window. I hope Vira's been amusing you.
It's been very interesting.
I hope you don't mind the open window. My husband and brother will be home directly from shooting. They always come in that way. They've been out for snipe in the marshes today, so they make a fine mess over my poor carpets. So like you men folk, isn't it? They'll be back any minute. They've been gone quite a while.
The doctors agree and order me complete rest, an absence of mental excitement, and avoidance of anything in the nature of violent physical exercise. On the matter of diet, they are not so much in agreement.
No? Huh. There they are at last. Just in time for tea. And don't they look as if they were muddy up to the eyes. Barney, what are you bound?
Here we are, my dear. Fairly muddy, most of it's dry. Who was it who bolted out?
Most extraordinary man, a Mr. Nuddle, could only talk about his illnesses and dashed off without a word of goodbye or apology. When you arrived, one would think he saw a ghost. I expect it was the spaniel. He told me he had a horror of dogs. He was hunted into a cemetery somewhere on the banks of the Ganges by a pack of pariah dogs, and had to spend the night in a newly dug grave with the creature snarling and grinding and foaming just above him, enough to make anyone lose their nerve. Out through that window.
Alright, we're gonna get it.
Out through that window. 3 years ago today.
It's recording.
Oh. Then you know practically out through that window. 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
We did it!
Hello? Hold on, the dog ruined it. Restart.